Standard Gains Podcast, episode 31, take 1.
Here we go. And today we're going to look at finance advice on TikTok.
It's going to be interesting. We did this 2 weeks ago with fitness advice. We were pretty impressed by how good it was. I have no clue what to expect today with finance.
Fitness was pretty good. Let's see if it's good or if it's going to be a little bit cringe.
So what search term? Finance advice?
Finance advice? 5 things about finance you weren't taught in school. 5.9 million views. Here we go.
Let's go.
5 things about finance you weren't taught in school.
Finance?
That you're not supposed to save your money in the bank. What compounding interest is, what the rule of 72 is, what the 10-20 rule is, and what the 50-30-20 rule is. If you don't know what those 5 finance things are, well, you've been taught to fail.
5.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of true, and also not a very useful TikTok. It's more...
I mean, I'm going to assume, and let's maybe figure this out. I think go to my page. On this page is a link to a course page or something where he sells something, and that's where... that's what I think.
First TikTok, and we're going there. So
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I would do if I would make a video like this.
Okay. I mean, this guy... Let's see. Let's just check out his page, and let's see if you're right. And maybe this guy is giving insane advice.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it is 5 million views, so maybe he's not just selling something. Okay, let's go to his profile.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so there's a link. Licensed finance educator. Yeah.
Okay, 700k followers.
That's pretty good.
But there is a link. Let's check out the link. Let's see if you were right.
Oh man, this is definitely a sales tactic.
So yes, he is selling something, and Bob was right. So we're gonna get into why you thought he's right. But I do want to sort of clear this guy's name. I mean, he has 700,000 followers. He's probably working quite hard on TikTok, and he's really providing value. But let's check it out. Let's see. Anyone with a bank account needs to watch this.
Okay,
that's us.
How much money do you have in the bank? $1,000? $100,000? Guess what? You just lent the bank $100,000 for less than 1%. Congratulations. What happens if you want to borrow that same $100,000 from the bank? I wonder how much interest they're going to charge you.
I mean, I would say I go a little bit more in depth, but
it is TikTok.
It is TikTok. It has to be short. And what he's basically saying is that you should probably invest it elsewhere if you don't. I mean, if you have 100K in a bank account, you're either saving up for something or you should probably invest it.
And he can probably help you. Teach you where to invest this. So no, I'm definitely, let's put it this clear, I am not saying this is a bad thing. This is something that happens everywhere in the finance, digital marketing niches. You provide some value, and the main reason you do this is because people will go to your link, go to your website, go to your course platform, where they can probably schedule a free call. In that call is just a sales call to upsell you on something, and that's how people make money. If you are an actual financial advisor, that's also your job. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It seems like this guy is a certified financial advisor. Great, he's building a platform, he's giving value, and then he's trying to convert that to clients. I have problems and issues with people who actually don't invest themselves, are not certified, and they do the same thing, which, we spoke about this in the previous video. If you would teach people how to lift weights, you never lift weights. That's where I have issues. In the fitness industry, it doesn't happen as often. In the finance industry,
it happens
all the time.
Everyone says they are a millionaire and they can help you get there, but no one has really done it or actually knows what he's talking about. They're just repeating what other financial advisors on TikTok say. So they're recreating TikToks that went viral, and that's how you actually spread really bad knowledge or just straight up nothing actually. And that's why we're looking at this today. This guy is a certified financial advisor. I think he's given some pretty good tips and people can learn from it. I mean, obviously it's still TikTok, so going super in depth, you probably need YouTube videos for that. But this is
interesting first one.
First one. Looks like a good guy. Jorg, the camera guy, he saw a comment. You talk a lot, but you never give us real solutions. How about a real solution? Simply put 3 sentences, go. It's not that easy, but as far as I've seen so far, going really in depth or actually just naming a solution, that's not happening a lot on TikTok. But hey, more. Let's go. Let's go.
Next one.
Okay, I need to watch this.
Yeah, we need to watch this one.
4 money tips for teens.
Let's go.
I mean,
I'm happy there's a car convertible in the background. I'll stop being salty in every video. But
this is so your thing. Okay. So I know quite a lot about social media monetization, but Bob has been in the finance sector in a lot of segments as well, a lot of different parts for quite a long time. And
I've shot videos like this for someone, and I was there, and we rented a Jaguar F-Type, and we made like 20 videos and photos, and it got a lot of sales for the person.
exactly.
So I know how this works.
He's
Yeah.
been on both of the sides, on the dark side, and also now, you know. sort of-
I moved to the light side.
To
sort of.
the-
Yeah, to the sun.
to the side. Move to the side. Now, okay, so yeah, that's why you're. I mean, here you
Yeah,
actually he talks about most of the stuff and actually just well, hopefully giving some value right now. Here we are not bullshitting you here, so hopefully you have something. And if you do like some of the videos and we don't, or you feel offended. If you're free
Let us
to
know.
let us
Let us
know.
know.
But we're really trying to be as transparent as possible here.
Right.
4 money tips for teens.
For money tip for teens. Tip number one, you gotta have multiple avenues to actually make money. The more avenues, the more money you make. For example, you can make money on cutting grass. selling-
He said avenues. I was like, what is he saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Normally people say streams,
Yeah.
but all right.
clothes, reselling shoes.
Okay, so multiple
e-commerce, all
income
that.
streams.
The more ways you can make money, the better it is. Number two, save your money. It's not about how much you make, it's how much you net. The problem with teens today, they actually spend their money as soon as they get it in their hand. Folks, when you start your business, when you start making money, don't start buying Yeezys and Supreme right off the bat. You need to save that money. It's like the analogy, don't make $1, spend $1. You're never gonna get a hit. Number three, invest your money. So take some of the money, reinvest it back in your business so you can grow it, and then take the rest of the money and then reinvest in other things that can make you more money. If you don't know what that is, then talk to people who's already doing it so they can teach you so you can grow your money. Number four, learn about the basic of money. Learn about credit. Learn about the mindset of money. Learn about being responsible with money because it's no point working hard, you guys. You don't understand the basic of money, you're gonna lose it all. Got it?
Okay.
This guy goes a lot more in depth.
Yes, I did have to laugh 1 or 2 times. You too, I think.
I was.
But let's start with the last one. I 100% agree. So one of the main issues I think with the education system in general is that we don't really learn anything about money and finance and how it actually works, right?
like the other guy said as well, but this is more.
Yeah. So 100% the last one is true. And actually, if you learn number 4, you understand 1, 2, and 3. Sort of what he's saying,
Yes.
or at least you can have an opinion because I
Yeah.
don't necessarily agree with all of his points. But number 4, 100% agree.
Exactly, and I would say for the first other 3,
Multiple income streams.
it depends per person. Obviously, if you are or if you're a doctor, if you're someone else, I mean, you don't need to also start TikTok for another income stream if that's not something you like, and if you're just earning enough. The other ones. Number 2, for example, is don't spend too much money.
Yeah.
$1 for $1. Basically, I would say that's also true. Depends on if it's on your business or if it's on yourself.
Yep.
And he was more talking about like the Yeezys and stuff like
Yep.
that, the car in the back, for example. Now that he was talking about, and that's also true. If you're spending your money on a lot of stupid shit, then and you're not saving it up, point 3. Well, I mean,
So starting with the first one, yes, multiple income streams can be good, but not too many because you want to focus on the things you're good at,
focus,
and
yes.
you need focus. 2, true, don't spend it all, but also enjoy life because you make money to actually enjoy life as well. So that's important. And 3, yes, of course, you should also invest, right? So
Exactly.
there's a truth in all of them.
yeah, and exactly. And for the first one, I mean, if you are a doctor and like starting TikTok about doctor stuff, I mean, if that's something you'd like, sure, go for it. But if that's not something you like and you're just earning enough money and on the side you can save up money, not spending on a lot of stupid shit and just, enjoy as well, because that's what it's about, focus on what you like, then yeah.
I mean, I do think it's funny that the convertible is such a cliche in this niche, basically. Have a convertible car that looks good and then say you shouldn't spend your money on personal things. I mean, I think that's good.
But this guy is probably motivating quite a
definitely.
few people. 1.2 million followers, more than the other guy. Okay, so he has some links. Let's check it out. It's actually just like a lot of real estate mentorship. Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy just knows. Uses links pretty well. Nice.
Yeah. Next one.
1.4 million.
I wonder why.
Let's get a girl in here.
Oh my god!
Yeah, this is TikTok. This is what I
Yes.
need.
Oh my
Invest 2 in a
God.
month instead of going for drinks every weekend.
Oh my god.
So probably 200 a month, right? Well,
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
2,400 a year.
2,400 a year. And then
Retire. So
compounding with 7% and make 3 million. It's some serious return on investment you're getting to get to this number as well.
I mean, 2,400. Let's say, working for 50
per-
years. I need to see it again.
Oh my god! Oh my god.
So that's like,
If you keep reinvesting and you make 7% a year, it starts to get return on investment over return on investment, interest over interest. But
let's say you start at 20.
Okay, yeah.
50 years, then you're
50 years.
70. I mean,
let's see what
retire.
maybe. Yeah.
Sure.
But 7% is what people normally take when it comes to compounding.
Yeah, that's exactly. All
Okay.
right.
Still, it's much more than the 100. What was it? Oh, 200.
120K?
120K. So compounding super fast. You put money somewhere, for example, in a tracker of the S&P 500. On average, that makes 7% return on investment. And if you keep reinvesting the money there, so after 1 year you have 107, but then you get 7% over 107. So you start making more and more. And that's why this is a great thing. And you should start early with putting money aside, because every percent is going to be a major difference.
Every percent is going to be insane. Yeah, that's the only thing that can vary is the length, but let's give it like the benefit of the doubt and give it 50.
Yep.
Then the interest rate, and then just she's using like
something like 10%.
she's using like 9 to 10%.
Cool video.
3.5 million.
So, I make $80,000 a year. Hey, that's pretty good. I make $80,000 a year too. Yeah, I got a nice job. Boss is kind of annoying, but got a company car, Oh, that's pretty cool that you like your 9-to-5 job. I actually work at home, which means that I don't need a car, and I only work 15 minutes every single week. And I'm my own boss. Wait, what? How? Well, I invest in the stock market, collect dividends, and I sell covered calls and cash secure puts, which gives me around $6,000 to $8,000 every single month. Oh, all right. How do you do this? I'm just asking for a friend. Well, you can learn at calltolead.com.
It was so obvious that this was going to happen.
Almost 300,000 likes.
I'm starting a TikTok tomorrow.
Nah, this is
gonna
these
do
are
it.
these are like grab your caps. Like
At 5,100.
well, I do 15K per month compounding. There we have it again. All right, I think this part of TikTok is the part you want to leave. Hi, my name is
Tash,
Tej.
and at 23, I have $100,000 invested. If I never invest another dollar, I'll have over 1.4 million at 63.
Compounding.
That's a pretty cool amount to retire.
77% return. There we go.
Yeah, because that is
That
if
is
you
the normal-
statistically
yeah.
look over the past 100 years, it's 7% a year.
Even cooler though, if I keep investing at my current rate, I'll have 8.4 million in 40 years. Investing is cool, and if you're young,
And just to give it a little bit more depth, investing in probably something like the S&P 500. That's what we're talking about. Or individual companies and creating your own S&P 500. But I mean, it's about the more safer options. And overall, 7% is a 6 to 7%.
I like this one because it's actually not selling something and it's actually true. Teach people you should start investing early for compounding.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
It's about motivating you to actually do it and think about it, and that's where this part of TikTok or this TikTok comes in very handy. And I understand why it did so well. The information in itself, though, is obviously very limited because it's like, what do I need to do? First question, obviously, where do you invest? That's why I wanted to. Sorry, I'm just literally seeing like a link. Is this some sort of promote?
No, because it's someone else.
I was skeptical, but took the. Oh, this is a.
We
bot,
have this on
This is a
YouTube
bot
as
comment.
well.
Yeah, this is a bot comment. I was like, what is happening here?
But I think, if you are in the finance and business needs, it makes sense that you sell something, right?
It would be weird to almost not sell something, but you have to know what you're talking about. And we don't have any courses.
Yeah.
We have nothing in the description, so you can check out the description and maybe follow us on Instagram.
Should we check out Mark Tilbury?
Mark Tilbury.
We both know him from YouTube. I've never seen his TikToks.
I didn't even know he was on TikTok, but I mean, obviously, smart guy. 5.6 million. Definitely knows his stuff.
Yep.
Though, I mean, we'll see on TikTok. Maybe he's following trends. Maybe not. Because he's smart, he follows trends as well.
Yep.
Here are 3 things you should do as soon as you turn 18 to get ahead of everyone else. Number 1, get a credit card. It will help you buy a house or a car in the future, as you'll have a great credit score as long as you remember to pay it back in full at the end of each month. Number 2, open up one of these accounts. A Roth IRA in the USA, an ISA in the UK, and a TSFA in Canada. These help you avoid tax. Number 3, invest in yourself. The more skills you can master when you're younger, the more money you'll earn.
Okay, so I would say for the first one, definitely the part where he said, make sure to pay it off.
Yes.
This is more an American thing, but credit score is key to a lot of stuff in the US.
If you think back about the podcast we had with John, who's from the States, he had some issues in the past and his credit score was pretty shit. And now he's making a lot of money, but he still couldn't buy a house because his credit score was still shit. So it's very important to keep doing this and to build your score.
If it's shit, then you can definitely have a big problem. If you have a lot of money, like an insane amount of money, then I mean,
You could
People
just, yeah, of course, you
could
don't
just-
need the...
The second one, Roth IRA, also, and he gave some other options, nothing for Europe though. It is very specific for certain countries, but good advice.
I'm not sure how much you're allowed to put in, because basically it's something you can invest in using that, and then it's tax-free your returns.
Yeah, it's tax-free
So-
returns, but you can only access it
Yeah.
after like
But,
a
yeah,
set
we're
amount
not,
of time.
we're not from the States.
Invest in yourself. This is one
Yes.
that I really like actually because it's not one you hear quite often, but the more skills you have, the less likely you are, like if you are a real entrepreneur, you're probably just trying everything if something goes wrong. But if you have a lot of skills, you could go, for example, on Fiverr. And if you have Fiverr and you have 20 different things on there, and let's say you are in the video editing niche,
Yep.
but you also can do Photoshop, and you can do some web design, you can do there. You're actually pretty good at all of that. You could, you know.
Yeah, I
Obviously,
agree.
if you're really good at one thing,
Exactly.
you can. That's the
Yeah.
most important thing.
But even that is investing back in yourself. So if you just keep investing in yourself to learn more and more and more about one topic, or if you want to diversify a bit so you can actually have more clients, both are super, super good. And I think it relates back to the second one, the 4 tips for teens or whatever, where you said, don't spend all your money on Yeezys. Invest
In yourself. Yeah. A good example for that would, for example, be instead of buying Yeezys, actually getting an Adobe Creative Cloud pack and watching tutorials and really
Yep.
learning if there's something you like, going back to the video editing, Photoshop. So that's just a big difference. People always say that's super expensive, but they also spend a lot of money on clothes they don't need, on shoes, on drinks as well. And if you save up a little money and invest in yourself, that same amount of money, then you can actually have a decent student package for iCloud and work there. For example,
Yep.
this is not sponsored by iCloud, or it's just an example. There you go.
Hi, I need a loan.
Sure, sir, but we'll need collateral.
You can take my Lambo. I only need to borrow $100.
But your Lambo's worth over 200k.
So that should cover it then?
Well, of course. Okay, you owe us the loan plus the interest, which comes to $104.
Got it right here.
If you have a Lambo, why do you need $100 so badly?
I didn't need $100. I just went on vacation for a month and paid $4 for parking. Hi, I need a loan.
I mean, I get the point he's trying to make, that you can be
Yeah.
creative in certain, at least I hope that's the point he's trying to make, that you can become creative and save money in certain ways, and showing that loaning money costs money. So yeah,
Let's
would
go
he
to the
always
next.
be-
Let's go to
yeah.
the next TikTok. Best investments to
I
make.
want to start investing. Oh, Sonny, you want to stay away from stocks. I've lost a lot of money back in the day. I want to invest in the S&P 500 index. The what? It's an index fund that tracks the 500 largest companies in the US across all the sectors. So technically all my money isn't in one basket. So if one company does bad, I'll be fine because there's 499 other ones. Huh, I've never heard of this. It also has an average return of 8% a year on the low end. If I invest just $100 a month when I turn 18, by the time I'm 60, I would have $365,000. Honey, we gotta go to the bank. Where'd you learn this? I follow someone on TikTok.
All right. So first of all, I think it's cool. The cool thing I like about this is, again, he says, like, I learned this on TikTok or YouTube, and of course he's promoting something from himself. But the issue is that we're not, they're not teaching this in high school or in college or anywhere. Second of all, yeah, he's talking about ETFs of the S&P 500. What we spoke about, he says 8%. That is if you do not correct for inflation, but that's getting technical.
Exactly. So, yes, good TikTok, very safe TikTok as well. Talking about ETFs, S&P 500.
But I'm interested. Does your father know about like ETFs and those kind of things?
I think he knows now about it. I've
Through you, maybe.
Yeah,
Or, I
yeah.
think for my parents, my dad used to do buying some stocks, and also, wasn't too like bullish on it, but
he does definitely now. My dad indeed. That's
yeah,
what
but now
want
I
to
know
say.
now he knows. But I think that it actually is realistic. A lot of
This
young
is very
people do know
realistic.
this now.
Yeah.
Because of books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, which goes a lot into this, about a lot of YouTube videos about it. So
But your dad, he invests money as well.
he did a bit, but not much. But he never did it into like the S&P 500 or tracker.
never.
So I think this is pretty relatable to a lot of people, where the parents grew up in a different way, probably also where saving was super important. Just put your money on the bank.
Something that would be added to this TikTok, or as a sort of part 2, because it would kind of destroy the story behind this one. But it's like the father starting right now. is such a big difference from
Yeah.
the young guy starting today or has started last year, for example. Because the earlier you start with $100 a month or $100 a
Yeah.
month, it's insane. If you that's the compounding again, obviously.
Yeah.
So the compounding for the dad is going to be like 10 years, 20 years, still
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah, the main issue in this for the dad would be that, so we always go in cycles, right? So you have, right now, we're at a really, really high market. Maybe in 2 or 3 years it's lower than now, but in 6 or 7 years it will be higher than now. So the issue or the thing that you have if you start young, you can just decide when to get your money out. If you start quite late and then you go into like a bear market,
Oh yeah.
it's pretty difficult to sort of get out of that and find the moment to get your money out, because at some point you want to retire and actually enjoy the money.
Exactly. So would you say that, because you talk about taking out money, do you recommend taking out money, or would you say you've got more sort of time to actually know when you invest more of your money?
Yeah, you should never
maybe?
take. Yeah, so keep investing. Don't.
I
get
would not
something
take it out.
until the moment you want to retire. You need the money, right? And for the dad, that will be sooner than for the son. So the son could think, oh, we're really at a high. Maybe in 40 years.
Exactly.
It's a super high point. Great, I'm going to start selling now. The dad might have to think, shit, I have to start selling now because I'm retiring, and it's a shitty point.
Exactly. So no, I you said like,
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
take
yeah.
out money, but so it's more like you can sort of be like, all right, so I've been investing $100 a month. We are now in a bear market. I'm just going to dollar cost average into it, but a
Yeah.
little higher.
No, exactly. And I think that my strategy with this, because I've been putting money in the whole time and I'll keep doing it, is at some point I'll just start just taking out the dividends, for example. So it won't really grow as much anymore. But, if every year I get
7%.
yeah, and like a nice return that I can just use. And if by then, in my case, hopefully it's going to be, 7 figures that I have in there.
Exactly. So
then
if you have-
7% you can live from.
Exactly, 7%. That's a decent amount from
Yeah.
from a million, for example. How
Okay.
taxes actually work?
Congrats, I'm giving you a raise, and now your total salary is going to be $41K a year. With all due respect, I got to pass. But you're making $38K a year right now. Are you allergic to money? It's not that. My tax bracket right now is 12%, and the next bracket starts at $40,525, so I'll be pushed into the 22% bracket. I'd end up making less money.
That's not how
That's
that's
not how our tax system
Oh,
works, bud.
okay.
What do you mean? We have a progressive system. You're only taxed on that next dollar of income. In your case, you'll only pay 22% on any dollars above $40,526. The rest of it, you still pay 12%. Oh, that makes sense. So it's always good to get a raise then. Yes, exactly. It's clearly misunderstood.
Okay,
Is that-
yeah,
is
it's
that-
funny because we were actually looking at it, so that's not how it works, but then they started
Is that
explaining it.
misunderstood? Oh, I mean, it's
I
a
think
good.
so. I think so. I think a lot of people think if you go to the next bracket, it goes over your whole income.
I mean, it's a good TikTok to sort of let people know, and actually it worked because a million likes almost. I think it
Yeah.
had like around 7 million views. So yeah,
Yeah.
good to know.
It's a
Good to know.
Good flex in the first comment as well.
My dad makes 30K a month. Grant Cardone, 12.1 million views. How much money do you have in the bank right now? He's probably not going to teach us anything, but
I can't say.
it's a Logan.
How
Okay.
much you got in the bank right now? How liquid is it? How much?
I can't say.
Write it down for me. Okay, so
Hey, it's a lot for me.
He's like, that's my jet fuel.
yeah, it's like I
for
spent
like
that on
2
dinner
flights."
last night. It's not that much. You should never have money in the bank. You only buy things that produce cash flow that can't be disrupted. Like the real estate I buy is indestructible.
What about the real estate that you buy makes it indestructible?
The rents are $1,500 a month. How much you got in the bank right now? How liquid?
Okay. I want to say something about this rather than not the whole joke, but I think a very healthy way, and for anyone who hasn't read Rich Dad Poor Dad, read it, because that's basically what this is about, is if you make money, and we go back to one of the first videos, you can either spend it or you can invest it. So if you invest it, so for me, I drive a relatively old car. It's a nice car, it's an old car. And I thought to myself, I can spend 40, 50K on a cool new car, or I invested into garage boxes, start making money, and with the money I start making, I can lease a car. So rather than just, here's 50K, put it in a car, and after 10 years, it's worth like 10K. I say, hey, here's 50K, I start buying some real estate. With the money I make every month, I can buy that car, and after, 10 years, the real estate is probably worth 60 or 70K.
Yeah.
So that's basically what he's saying, and it's super important to realize this. But of course, yeah, the first joke they make about it is...
And the first joke was decent, yeah. I
Grant
mean,
Cardone is super famous and billionaire, so...
quite wealthy. 50, 30, 20 budget. This 4 million views looks like
Okay.
something Interesting. Something educational.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a very loud song here. So for people who are listening audio only, 50, 30, 20 budget rule. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. Okay. That is I mean, you wanted me to pick a good one. I picked this one. I'm sorry. I mean, yes, it's a good one because it makes people still think about the fact, hey, wait, maybe I should budget. Maybe I should start writing down what I actually spend on certain things. And 50% needs is, for a lot of people, actually sort of somewhat true, actually. And people think they are spending 80 to 90% on their needs. But in reality, it should be probably around 50%. But I mean, not everyone has the same budget.
Yeah.
And if you're making $1 million a month and you're going to spend 50% on needs, then your needs are interesting. Exactly. So for the 50, 30, 20 budget rule, famous rule.
Yeah, well, I would say in general, it is good to have at least some sort of an idea how you want to spend your budget, right? Because if it's just random, what do I have left in the end of the month, and I'm going to spend that on saving or whatever. So that's good. I know people who micromanage this. So they have it into like 2% goes to this, 4% goes to this. One of the things you often see with young people making some money is they have like 10% fuck you money. So 10% of what they make, do whatever the fuck you want, like spend it on bottles, getting a table, expensive table in the club or something.
Yeah.
But I think in general, it's good to have an idea of this is how I'm going to spend my budget.
So why I said I like it. But in terms of for TikTok, it makes people think about budgeting, but it is so random. 50, 30, 20. It's nice to have it written down, but for a lot of people, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because
also, like, what are the wants?
Yeah.
And
What
the needs
what are
and
wants?
the...
What are needs? So this TikTok is very vague. But again, like it spreads just the thought of thinking about it, and I think that's the power of TikTok. But you should definitely do more research once you can get very motivated by TikTok, but probably it's more about watching YouTube videos so you can go more in depth.
I actually like the first comment here. So the first comment is how to organize bank accounts. Do you have one for utilities and another one for other expenses? So one of the things you can do is you can have automatically split it into subgroups in most bank accounts. So you can say if $1,000 come in, I want to have $500 which goes to the part where I pay my rent, for example. $200 goes to utilities, and the rest goes to like a spending account I can buy groceries for. Or maybe you have more. Yeah. So those are things you can actually do, which helps. And this is especially important if you live on a pretty tight budget.
Then you can't even spend it. Well, you can, but then you basically can't because it's not on that bank account or that. Yeah.
And maybe an important one for entrepreneurs, so for you and me as well, is you could automatically have a percentage go put away for taxes. Because what happens quite often is people start making a lot of money, they start spending a lot of money, could be investing or something else. End of the year, you have to pay a pretty big amount of taxes, and you're like, shit, I spend it all. And that's a big issue that actually happens. So
the taxes,
exactly. So you have to realize that, if you make 100K, you might have to spend 30, 40K in taxes pay yet.
Yeah.
So put that aside straight away as well is pretty important.
That is a very good tip, and hopefully saves at least one of you. Nah,
let's hope so, yeah.
Let's, just for the fun of it,
okay,
let's pick one more. Now you can choose it.
Okay, let's go down one more.
Yeah, I will scroll a bit.
Buy, borrow, die?
Dude, I just found out how the rich never pay taxes. It's called buy, borrow, die. Not a fan of step 3, but go on, I'm listening. Step 1 is to buy appreciating assets, typically investing in the stock market. Nice, I do that. Step 2, borrow. Say, for example, your portfolio grows to $10 million. Now you can take a loan against it. Yeah, I don't have a $10 million portfolio. And why wouldn't they just sell their stocks? That's the secret sauce. Selling stocks is a taxable event. Taking a loan is not a taxable event. In addition, as long as your portfolio grows faster than the interest rate of the loan, you come out ahead. In fact, you could take out another loan.
If it goes the other way around, you're major screwed.
So they just keep borrowing until they die? You got it. Third step is to go 6 feet under. Once they die, they can pass off their entire portfolio to their heirs at a stepped-up cost basis.
That's true in the United States.
Not have to pay any taxes on the capital gains.
That is true. This is indeed very US based because I'm not even sure if you can take a
loan based on no.
I don't think you can here.
No.
Exactly. You can take a loan against stocks. You just have to get out your stocks. You just have to sell your stocks.
Or if you could, the interest rate would be insane because it's such a high risk.
Yeah, the risk is insane.
Yeah.
But let's say you have a 10 million portfolio. Now, okay. Funny TikTok.
But it does happen, by the way. These things do happen.
Yeah, they happen.
People, and the last part is sort of important that in the States, I know that if you die, the capital gains aren't.
That's very,
so
very
a lot of
good
people
to know.
put their money when they get old and they don't want their kids to pay a lot of taxes, they put all their money into like stocks or something, so they can get it tax-free out. But
very niche, very. Let's say I would not recommend.
I think the most important thing here is what he says. Like, as long as your how much your portfolio grows is bigger than the interest you pay. If it goes the other way around,
you're screwed.
You're screwed. You have a major debt, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's so specific and niche as well. Like, how does that work? What is the bank saying when it goes down 50%? What do they say? Leave the loan,
and maybe then you have to sell all your stocks at a loss because the bank wants their money back. So then you're pretty screwed.
But it depends. If the contract says like 10 years, then after 10 years, then it could be a safer bet. Maybe,
I don't know. Oh well,
it's 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
No, I like the fitness TikToks more.
The fitness TikToks were, in my opinion, better. Also, maybe because fitness might be a little bit more straightforward than finance. But
yeah, but this is so much like buy my course or it's or super specific. But that also makes sense, right? Like fitness, no matter where you live in the world, do progressive overload. Eat in caloric surplus or deficit if you want certain results, you're going to get the same results. With finance, the tax system here is 100% different than in the US, and again, different from the UK, so it is harder.
Yeah.
And it's probably also more that you want to explain, and TikTok isn't the best for
depth.
it. More in depth.
Exactly. I think that's what's lacking here. It's about the depth to it, so I would probably recommend YouTube over TikTok, but that's for everything. That's my opinion. But yeah, I do feel like we put a lot of value in the fitness one, and I hope this podcast had a lot of value as well. But I do feel like if you want to know more about fitness, make sure you check out that podcast because that was really good in terms of value as well. And I do hope, maybe Bob saved someone with the taxes, maybe.
Who knows?
But yeah, I do think there was some value in here, so I hope you like this one, and let us know what kind of topic you would like to see us discuss on TikTok and reacting to that, because this is the biggest platform when it comes to growth right now. It is insane. Everyone is on here, but why? And is it any good? So we're going to be talking about that in the next episode as well.
Thank you so much for watching and listening.
Bye bye booey.